There is an interval between when the moon is full, and you can see that no matter where in the world you live, even if you don't have the internet, even if you can't send text messages and all the things we have, you look outside your cave and you see the full moon, and the full moon is always magical.
Welcome to Season 2 of the Stories Cafe podcast, the espresso version of Stories Cafe, a brief, enriching pause for reflection on literature, cinema, archetypes, philosophy, and the art of living deliberately. I'm Annette Wernblatt, course creator, internationally published author, and wanderer at heart. So cozy up and let's once again step into the world of stories and the deep ways in which they can shape the lives we live.
So what do I mean when I say it's some of the most ancient and archetypal symbols that we have, that the structure of the year, if you just start noticing how much or how little energy you have during the year, it will have a lot to do with the light and the darkness. But if you go back to the sort of primordial mankind climbed out of their cave and looked out, what are some of the first things they see? Which, I mean, and these are the most profound and ancient symbols that we have. During the day, they see the sun, and at night, they see the moon, and they start noticing that the sun is more or less the same all the time. It may be hidden behind clouds, but the sun is the same, but the moon is not always the same. The moon changes. And if you start then noticing how the moon behaves, you will notice that there is an interval between when the moon is full, and you can see that no matter where in the world you live, even if you don't have the internet, even if you can't send text messages and all the things we have, you look outside your cave and you see the full moon, and the full moon is always magical. And then you start noticing how long is the interval between the moon is full until the next time, and how are the seasons behaving, depending on that. So you have spring, not only the equal length of the day, but how was the weather approximately last year when the moon was full? How many times is the moon full in the course of what we now call a year before it starts being spring? So you notice what is the moon like at different times of the year? And then you notice that you have that full moon 12 times a year. So 12 is one of the most magical symbols that we have. The number 12 has the same symbolic numerical value as the circle. Does that make sense? Because if it is an archetypal symbol, a lot of other symbols, we have to learn what they mean, but the archetypal symbols, they make sense on the deepest cellular level of our DNA and our entire encoding of our system as human beings. Does it make sense that the year has 12 months? It absolutely does. What then with the number 4 is that 4 times of the year, the light shifts. And on each section, if you look out at the full moon, you have the full moon when the day is equal length, and then you have the full moon when the darkness reigns supreme. That happens 4 times of the year of those 12. So we have 1 month until the coming full moon, and one, and then it starts changing again. So with each of those 4 sections consists of 3 periods of the full moon. So those numbers are among the most, profound symbols that we have. And if you start noticing in books and in movies and in popular songs and in paintings, that those numbers are very, very important. And the reason for that it's not something man-made. It is part of that cycle of magic of the different seasons.
Thank you so much for joining me. If this episode added value to your day, you're always welcome to return. You can follow the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts so that each new episode lands directly in your podcast app. And if you feel like leaving a review, it helps others to find their way here too. If you'd like to go deeper, you're warmly welcome inside Stories Cafe. Just go to stories-cafe.com, where you'll find further reflections, conversations, and a growing library of ideas. I'm looking forward to welcoming you back next time.